So heading into 2023, there are many different questions, the biggest, of course, being Aaron Rodgers, the quarterback situation, and we've discussed that a lot these past couple of weeks. But today I want to discuss the Packers and their wide receiver situation. And it really does depend on Rodgers, if he returns or not returns. I think maybe the way the Packers decide to build this wide receiver room, because right now, Randall Cobb and Allen Lazard both are free agents, and there is some uncertainty as to whether or not those guys will come back. Rodgers, even talking with Pat McAfee the other day, seemed to question whether Brian Gutekunst wanted to bring back lots of those more veteran players, guys he's played with for a long while now. He seemed to be questioning, do the Packers want to continue with these guys? And it seemed to me like for Rodgers to return, he wants those guys back, which I think makes sense. Guys he's been close with, guys who he thinks are important for the locker room, like a Randall Cobb, like a Mercedes Lewis, guys who have really shown a lot here in Green Bay over the years. But the question really is, can this Packers offense take a step forward with lots of the same, mainly the same unit going into next year? And I honestly think they can. You look at these rookies who, in Christian Watson, Romeo Doubs in particular, how much they grew throughout the season, especially Christian Watson coming out of nowhere, dominating in that Cowboys game, and consistently showing him improvement, consistently opening this Packers offense more and more with his explosive ability. Defenses have to follow him more, keep an eye on him, which opens the running game as well. And we really saw the Packers offense open up a ton as we moved into the second part of the season. So I think we're going to see way more of that improvement on the offensive side of the ball, even if it's just the same exact unit. Let's say the Packers bring back Lazard, Cobb, Doubs, and Christian Watson. I think this offense could move into top 10 just from those rookies developing, improving their route running in the offseason, improving their chemistry, which has already been improved drastically throughout the entire season as you compare it to early in the season where no one was really on the same page. Rodgers was, talking about the rookies making mistakes, and I think we saw lots of that sort of go away as the season neared its end. And so going into the year two, these rookies are going to take huge leaps forward, massive leaps forward. They have the confidence now. They know more so what they need to do. And so even if the Packers bring back the entire same unit, they should take a massive step forward if Rodgers returns as well. And if the Packers and Rodgers decide to part ways, I do think this offense has lots of solid building blocks, especially Christian Watson, Romeo Doubs, Samori Toure. If Rodgers left, would the Packers be more likely to maybe try to build with some more young, cheap talent in the draft, add a wide receiver maybe, add maybe a tight end in the first round? I'm sort of liking that idea right now. Sort of side note, I know as we move into the draft, I'll give more of my actual takes, but I'm trying to, parse through the information on some of these draft prospects. But the guy, Michael Mayer, tight end, looks like if he's around when the Packers pick, could be a great fit. And if not him, there are some other tight ends as well. And I think to see the Packers with a, really explosive threat in the passing game at tight end could really open this passing game, whether it's Rodgers, whether it's Jordan Love. I think right now I'm sort of wondering if that's my preferred pick in the first round, but feel free to comment your thoughts on that down below as well. But anyways, going forward, it does depend, I think, a lot on Rodgers. What is his decision going to be? What is the Packers' decision going to be? Because if Rodgers comes back, maybe the Packers say, you know what? Maybe it's one last year with Rodgers. Let's bring Cobb back one more time. Let's bring Lazard back. Maybe find some random free agent who, I don't know exactly who's going to be available at that time. Add another guy. You have your young players taking steps forward. You bring in another weapon. This offense should be much better next season if we were exactly the same. Obviously, things will probably change slightly, but I think there's lots of reason to be hopeful for these young players, for these receivers in general, and we'll see what Rodgers decides, what the Packers decide, and if they decide to keep Lazard and Randall Cobb, because I do think they're big building blocks in Green Bay. They're guys that, especially Lazard in the running game, Matt LaFleur always talks about that, his ability in that area, and it's going to be interesting to see sort of what exactly happens moving forward. But that's all I have for this video. Thank you so much for watching as always. I'll see you guys next time.